Hey, everybody, and welcome to the show voted most likely to lick its own genitals in public. It's the 42 Show.
Stop talking about me. And in stories we're not going to be reporting on tonight, SpaceX, just not long, nearly an hour ago, SpaceX did their test flight of Starship Flight 7. The booster came down, booster 13 came down and was caught by the chopsticks. Were beautiful. And unfortunately, Starship 33 disappeared in potentially a massive boom boom. So, they need a bit of a boom boom fund. And also, we're not going to report on a gang of thieves who use angle grinders to break into a toilet supplier, Andy Lou's, at around 8:30, 18:30. That's 6:30. Making off with toilets worth $12,000. I don't know what it is about these
Damn
toilets,
Russians.
but they love stealing them. And a woman had to be cut free from her office chair after getting her nose ring stuck in it, forcing colleagues to wheel her to the fire crew.
Oh, God.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. So as you saw in the title change there and everything we had, because we had one thing, then we had another thing. We got Benjamin Netanyahu there is saying now that his cabinet will not meet to vote on the ceasefire deal intended to pause the war in Gaza. And yeah, so it's all set and ready to go. It's supposed to kick in on Sunday, and now he's saying Hamas hasn't accepted all elements of the agreement. And they're saying this could derail months of work. Now, this is coming out of UK source here. Now, let me get through this because it maybe, as things go, because this article's updated itself a couple times as we've gone here. So there's a fear that, this could really screw it up. And senior U.S. officials have said, no, this will be going through on Sunday. Speaking at a briefing here at the State Department, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said he was very confident that the ceasefire would go forward, and he fully expects the implementation will begin, just as everybody has said, on Sunday. The announcement from the Israel Prime Minister's office on Thursday morning came before a scheduled security cabinet and wider government meeting in which the ministers were expected to ratify the deal. Now the vote is expected on Friday morning. This is reported in Israeli media. Netanyahu's office said that Hamas reneged on parts of the agreement reached with the moderators and Israel in an effort to extort last-minute concessions, adding that the situation had created a last-minute crisis. Now, senior Hamas official Twist My Tongue said via the group's Telegram channel a few minutes after the Israeli announcement that Hamas was committed to the ceasefire agreement. And citing anonymous government sources, the disagreement is now mostly resolved already, but we're not hearing about it in public yet. So far, all we have is this delayed vote on the Israeli side. Now, without specifying the exactness of the dispute, Blinken confirmed that there had been a loose end between the sides in the complex negotiations. And these negotiations have included Israel, Hamas, as well as mediators from the U.S., Qatar, and Egypt as well. There was a quote here: "We're trying to tie up the loose end as we speak," adding that Blinken had been on the phone all morning and held direct discussions with the U.S. senior envoy, Brett McGurk, and the Qatari government as well. So I think there was a little bit of a social media, what the hell, is Israel going to screw this up? I don't think that's actually the case. It's just that the way the announcement came out made it seem a little bit grandiose. And I think it really was meant to be putting pressure, like, don't you dare and whatnot. So, I'm not going to take issue with either side or whatever. This is just what I'm reading, right? Israel's Khan Radio reported on Thursday that the issue was related to the far-right cabinet minister, Bezalel Smotrich. That's an Israeli far-right cabinet minister. Opposition of the deal. He's been highly critical of earlier proposed deals with Hamas, although the agreement was expected to be ratified. It's him that's in the way. And he said what's going on here is that he's a little bit annoyed, a lot annoyed, that there could be an opening to a few people getting released that he figures in no way should be released because they're hardcore terrorist evil people. There's some names, but why stumble all over them? It gets a little bit crazy. So I we're going to get a little bit of posturing over this. There's probably a little bit more to go, but I think by the time we do the 42 show tomorrow on Friday, this will be resolved and there will be a ceasefire that kicks in on Sunday. Unfortunately for everybody in the situation right now, there's some heavy fighting still going on. So maybe Sunday could have been a little earlier.
Yeah. The sooner the better. Crying out loud.
Yeah. Exactly. Stop killing and start talking. It's always a better solution. So there's an update on that. We don't usually talk about that, but this could lead to the end of it. So worth talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, following on from that, our second story that we were going to run with tonight, a 53-year-old French interior designer, identified only as Anne, has revealed that she was scammed out of $855,000 in a year-long scheme involving AI-generated impersonation of actor Brad Pitt. I wish I had $855,000 to blow on him. But anyway, Anne shared her story on a French television program called 7 to 8. Who cares? It's not on this show. Detailing how she was first contacted online by someone claimed to be Brad Pitt's mother. Well, how does that happen? The person told her that her son needed someone like her over the course of a year and continued with someone she believed was the Hollywood star. At first, I said to myself, it was a fake. That is ridiculous. No, I should have been doing that in a French accent. She said during the interview, according to the Times, but I can't do it, but I'm not used to social media and don't really understand what's happening to me. So using AI technology, the scammer sent Anne personalized messages and photos, convincing her the intentions were genuine. Anne sent €10,000 after being told that she needed to pay customs tariffs for gifts the impersonator claimed to have sent her. What?
Oh, come on.
You don't pay the person for the customs. That's not how customs work. That should have been a red flag for a start. I mean, later she disclosed her recent divorce to the scammer, who then claimed to need financial assistance for kidney treatment. That famous Brad Pitt kidney thing that was in the news. Do you remember that? Yeah. No, I don't either. And
that happened while he was with the Formula One crew this year, driving race cars for the new movie. Is that he had kidney problems driving at 108? Yeah. Okay.
Well, apparently he said accessing funds was all tied up due to his divorce from Angelina Jolie.
Oh my God.
She eventually ultimately sent the scammer nearly all of her divorce settlement, totaling €775. Oh, sorry, €775,000. That's ridiculous. That's 1.5 million or 1.15 million Canadian dollars. You get that. Yeah. To reinforce the deception, the scammers sent Anne AI-generated images of Pitt in hospital beds. Yes, I think we got some pictures of that. She said, I was in love with the man I was chatting to, and he knew how to speak to a woman.
That looks like it was photoshopped in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it does look like him, but it's not like there aren't pictures of Brad Pitt around. You can just slap on an image. I like the one at the bottom middle one, just like a little selfie.
It looks a little more Tom Cruise in that one, though. And the bottom left one looks like he's about to go full Hulk.
Yeah. And obviously, a spokesperson for Brad Pitt also released a statement addressing the scam. It says, this is awful that scammers take advantage of fans' strong connection with celebrities. But this is an important reminder not to respond to unsolicited online outreach, especially from actors who have no social media presence. Apparently, this is not the first time scammers have used Brad Pitt in a romance fraud. Yeah.
How can people be that stupid? Sorry, honey, but I mean, really, $700,000 to somebody who's literally been in 20% of all the movies you can name offhand.
Now, I do have, direct contact with Johnny Depp, and he has sent me an email saying that he loves me immensely, and he's got an ingrown toenail and he needs $10,000 to get that fixed. But I didn't fall for that one.
Yeah. Johnny's always looking for money. Jesus. Oh, it's funny. Oh, so let's see here. We've got a little situation with this guy. That's Jeff Bezos. And he unfortunately owns the Washington Post. So there's been an exodus of talent from the Post ever since they did that thing where they were about to announce support for Kamala Harris. And Jeff Bezos said, no, you don't. And told the paper no support for like the first time in its history. They didn't come out in favor of a presidential candidate. Right. So 400 of its staffers have gotten together and sent a letter to Jeff Bezos himself expressing alarm over the newspaper's direction and asking him to intervene directly. The employees, including some of the Post's best-known correspondents, are asking Bezos, who rarely goes to Washington, D.C. to visit anybody at the Post, to come and meet with them. The letter was obtained by CNN, and it says, we're deeply alarmed by recent leadership decisions that have led readers to question the integrity of this institution, broken with the tradition of transparency, and prompted some of our most distinguished colleagues to quit and leave. And there's more departures imminent. The letter to Bezos doesn't mention Post publisher and CEO William Lewis by name, but it does strongly suggest that the staff have lost faith in said William Lewis. Over the last year, Lewis has only been in charge for about a year here. He's made disruptive changes to the Post and been accused of harboring hostility towards the newsroom itself. He also continued to face questions about journalistic integrity relating to his past work as a senior executive with Rupert Murdoch's British newspapers. Yeah, Bezos.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, right. So Bezos hired Lewis only just a little more than a year ago, and he wanted to get the publication to turn around because the Post has been a money loser for a little bit, and Bezos wants it to at least break even. Makes sense. But this guy doesn't seem to have any of the staff on his side now. And now they're saying, it's great to have Bezos himself stays out of the Post so much that they can publish articles critical of Amazon and himself. And he doesn't give a flying, right? But now they're saying, we appreciated that very much, but this guy's an idiot. Maybe you could show up and actually start helping save this. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Does Bezos truly have an interest in the future of free speech and journalistic integrity? Or did he buy the Post just to make it look that way as a balancer to say, well, sure, I'm crushing people's hopes and dreams by having low-paid Amazon workers, but at least I'm telling you about it with my newspaper, right? Oh, dear. I thought that was a good ending.
That's a good ending. Yeah, well, going on from one creepy crawly to another. Yeah. Because, it always has to be Australia, doesn't it? A larger and more venomous species of one of the world's deadliest spiders has been confirmed by Australian scientists. Nicknamed Big Boy, and that's the spider, not the guy in the beard. It can grow up to 9 centimeters compared to 5 centimeters, which is for the more common funnel web. This particular spider is a lot larger. Its venom glands are a lot larger, and its fangs are a lot larger. and it wears larger shoes, said the expert. Yes, Sydney funnel webs are known for their fast-acting and highly toxic venom, but luckily the same anti-venom is effective on bites from the new species. You probably just need a bucket load more of it, probably. Yeah. Mr. Christian first discovered the big boy in the early 2000s near Newcastle. This is old news then. And it's been officially named A-Track's Christian Seni in his honor, not just Big Boy.
They had a song about this years ago, right? Mr. Christian, know your spider's big, right? Isn't that?
I don't know that one. Was it on Rush album? Yeah, he says sometimes you might find them in a garage or bedrooms or somewhere in the house where they might have wandered in during the night. He's the former head of spiders at the Australian Reptile Park. Excuse me, it's a reptile park. You don't have spiders in a reptile park.
I thought Australia was a reptile park. I mean,
well, it is, yeah. Good point. He says, I would not recommend touching them, that's for sure. They give off copious amounts of venom. Scientists from the Australian Museum, Finders University, and Germany's Leibniz Institute confirmed on Monday that Big Boy would be classed as a separate species of funnel web. He's just been feeding it. He's a fat one.
They're going to nickname it Bruce to keep it simple, though, you know.
I wonder what he looks like when he splat it on the floor. Yeah, what we got else in this? 13 deaths have been linked to funnel webs that have been recorded, according to the Australian Museum, but none since antivenom was developed in 1981.
Huh.
So that's a good thing. Yeah,
it would really suck.
Australian keep one like a bit of antivenom in their back pocket or something.
Well, in Australia, you'd have to have like Batman's belt of anti-venom, right? You know,
yeah, just a kangaroo stuffed with anti-venom. That's what those Wallabies pouches are for.
Yeah. Oh, that actually makes sense. You know. Oh, so speaking of anti-venom, because the way things could play out, we might need anti-venom from this one. So yeah. So that's Pam Bondi, and that's Trump's choice for attorney general. She was grilled on Wednesday with one of those things, you know, those where everybody yells and screams at each other in a room because you were nominated by an idiot, right?
When you said she was grilled, I thought she meant she had been spit roasted.
I think that happened in college, and she's trying to buy back the photos. But she dodged direct questions about investigating people scorned by the president, though. So she said there will never be an enemies list within the Department of Justice. I will not politicize the office. Sorry, thank you. I will not target people simply because of their political affiliations. Now, she served as Florida's Attorney General from 2011 to 19 and helped defend Trump in his 2019 impeachment trial, which ended with his acquittal on charges of pressuring Ukraine to investigate his rival, now President Joe Biden and the son, right? She depicted herself as an independent-minded prosecutor focused on issues like the opioid pandemic, human trafficking, but declined ruling out investigations of Trump's adversaries. She said, it would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything. And this was a direct, and she was asked a direct question about investigating special counsel Jack Smith, who brought the now dismissed criminal case against Trump. Bondi, but previous to this appointment, had criticized Smith's probe, saying it was evidence of partisan weaponization of the Justice Department. Trump repeatedly vowed during his campaign to use the Justice Department to target those who had gone at him. Right? So she was pressed. The person says, Sheldon Whitehouse said, the concern is that weaponization of the Justice Department may well occur under your tenure. And we want to make sure that's not the case, that you remain independent. And there's a whole bunch of cabinet picks being evaluated right now, and a few of them controversial, like this one, right? There's Pete Hegseth as well. This is going on, but she promised to prioritize prosecuting violent crime gangs and sex abusers and drug traffickers and the overwhelming crisis at the border. Help us restore legitimacy to the Department of Justice, Republican Senator John Kennedy told her, urging her to find out who the bad guys are and get rid of them. Because that's not weaponizing the office at all. Right, John? Wink, wink. My God,
She's not going to get rid of them. She's going to send them a pet, on a web spider.
Yeah, I mean, the idiot said the quiet part out loud.
Kill them.
Yeah, exactly, right. And she's got a thing going back quite a bit where she's very much been a Trumpist. And Trump has vowed to pardon a whole whack of people that took part in January 6th. And she said that she would look at it on a case-by-case basis. In other words, I will do what the orange shit gibbon tells me to do. And
yeah.
Right. There was even a thing where she backed Trump in something from 2016 right after Trump's whatever company gave her a big donation. Like, it's just ugly.
Ooh, things are going to get nasty.
So I doubt she's got much integrity. I hope it turns out that she does. But from what I'm seeing already, this is just another, yes, mighty Trump, sir. How may I serve thee person? That's not going to do anybody any good.
No, I mean, you don't want any with integrity in the White House because that would just spoil the form.
Yeah, I can't ever imagine her having an idea that would make her light up like this.
Yes, because unfortunately, well, there's been good, as usual, research. Recent reports reveals that a majority of Gen Z is incapable of doing simple DIY tasks like changing a light bulb and would rather pay someone else to do it for them. They simply haven't really had to do things for themselves, said Diaz of Gen Z real world newbies ranging from 18 to 27, they reckon. So much and all of our lives are automated, convenient and outsourced, which is today's generation of use have been benefited from way more than past generations. Sorry, words and all that. So it makes complete sense that Gen Z simply doesn't know how to do as much as with regard to non-tech or independent tasks.
This is what happens when your children wore diapers till the age of 9, people.
Researchers surveyed 2,000 grown-ups, including Zoomers, as well as I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Zoomers, as well as millennials, basically people aged 28 to 44.
The problem with the millennial is they know how to change a light bulb, but they're too busy complaining about it to actually do it.
Yeah, on Twitter. Tweeting about it. Yeah, anyway, so also, it's like people from 45 to 60s, and so they got a whole range of people, including silver foxes, aged 60 and over, so we're nearly there, to determine which each demographics level of self-sufficiency are. Investigators found that nearly 25% of Gen Zers had no idea how to change a light bulb and a ceiling lamp, with many claiming that climbing a ladder is too dangerous. You've got to have like 2 people and a hazard jacket and all that kind of stuff. 1 in 5 also worry about the bulb might be too hot.
Oh my God.
You switch it off first, you numpty.
Have you ever heard of an oven mitt? I mean, it's just
what's an oven? So instead of risking their lives,
uses before he makes
yeah. So instead of risking their lives to complete the common DIY, they would rather get someone else, get others to do it. It's
oh my God,
expression GOTDIT. Get others to do it. Why everything has to be an acronym these days?
That's an acronym.
Yeah. God did. Yeah, got it. Yeah, why bother? Just say get others to do it. Anyway, the revelation comes as the latest layer to the top Gen Z's lazy cake is not so sweet campaign. Oh, gibberish words. But anyway. It is gibberish, some of this. Where can I get some meat out of this? Right. Analysts found that Gen Zers, on average, spend over $1,500 a year hiring professionals to knock out basic household chores, including things like... wrong with you? Yeah, including things like how to put up a painting. Just a picture on the wall. Just don't know how to do it.
What? What?
Hammers, nails, and yeah. I mean, some of those things you can now get picture hooks. It's just you just peel up a thing and stick it up to the wall. I mean, how hard can that be? But yeah,
These are the people that spend all day on the internet. They just don't use it to look up anything useful. It's just
YouTube, how to hang up a picture. I'm sure it's on there. Yeah, 1 in 10 Gen Zers admit they had to call a pro to hang a picture on the wall. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Obviously, things like motoring knowledge appears to be in the decline as well, with many reluctant to take on the most basic tasks. I mean, what is the most? I mean, checking for oil. I mean, is that too much for them? I mean, changing the spark plug.
It's actually to the point where 20% or so of Mercedes and Audi's new cars and stuff don't have oil dipsticks anymore because most people just don't do it anyway. So it's
yeah. It's under a plastic cover which you can't take off. Mind you, I suppose most of them are driving Teslas or something these days, and oh my god, yeah, you can't fix any one of those anyway. But they know how to fill out the web form for complaints. Yeah. Oh dear, Gen Zers.
Come on, people! It's just a light bulb. Can't you look at it? Look at the thread and go, gee. Something about that makes me think that I could actually do this for myself.
Well, I mean, this will be shocking to you because 30% of the group could not identify the flathead screwdriver. 21% couldn't recognize a wrench. Didn't know how to fit a white windshield wiper blade. Add air to a car tire.
Have you not been a child? It's the same thing, but bigger. What?
Yeah, it's just so hard to blow into, Dick. You know? Oh, dear, it's depressing. But yeah,
God. That hurts my brain. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna skip ahead to this one. This is kicking in the UK, EU, whatnot. All websites that display anything pornographic, including social media platforms, now have to introduce a robust age checking technique, such as demanding photo ID or running credit card checks. And this is kicking in for the UK by July. This comes out of the regulator Ofcom, and it's been made under the Online Safety Act, and it's intended to prevent children from easily accessing pornography online. Because it's just going to work that way, is it? Interesting.
It's easy. You just have like two images. Would you like to watch Paw Patrol, or do you like some cock and pussy action?
Yeah, that's it's funny how that might not even work. But so research in the UK indicates the average age at which young people first see explicit material online is around 13, with many being exposed to it much earlier. So just research indicates the average age is 13, with many exposed much earlier. Doesn't that mean that maybe your average is a little? Just I find that strange. And they go on this big parade for too long, many online services and blah, blah, and all this kind of stuff. And I understand the goal here. Protect innocent and those growing up from some really twisted stuff. I mean, what about a picture of a girl in her underwear? Every kid grew up looking at those pictures in catalogs from Sears and stuff and whatnot. That's not a big deal. Real pornography though. Okay, sure. But they're putting the onus, like we talked about recently, on the websites. Do you really trust Pornhub or somebody to have authentic records of who you are, like ID that proves it? Do you trust them to take that ID and that responsibility seriously enough to ensure that they won't get hacked and your data won't get leaked? Because it's one thing if your data from your internet provider gets leaked, your ID information or whatever. But these people are saying photograph your driver's license and send it in. Well, I didn't have to do that to get my internet account. So these sites will have even more information than on average. And they're putting it on these providers. I mean, if some person sneaks a naughty picture onto X, all of a sudden X has to now verify everybody. I get the intent, but do we want this to be, number one, something that spawns a new industry where everybody has to pay some company to verify your age, and now we have to trust them with our data as well? Or could collectively the government, the internet, and the users and the porn sites, get together and just have an honest discussion about what could be done, instead of some high and mighty, overly prudish person going, there, I stamped it out, it's done. I mean, this isn't going to stop any file sharing and yada yada and blah blah, and your average youngster can figure that out easy. You haven't stopped squat, but you've made us all less safe. That's all you've done.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. I'm conflicted.
I don't trust places like Walmart to keep my credit card information on file. I have a digital little wallet thing on my computer that handles that for me. And there's no way I'm giving each website the ability to store that information of mine. I'm not willingly letting them do that. There's no way I would let a porn site keep a photocopy or a scan of my fucking ID. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's almost like it seems like it would end up like going to like a third party kind of like, almost like a VPN, or you have those people that have like password services and stuff like that. So it's almost like you would go to them and they give you like, yes, he's 18, blah, blah, blah. Almost like an ID sort of thing check.
Exactly. They have those, but now you're spawning a new industry where everybody gets to make money on the fact that the government set a regulation without bothering to think about its true, repercussions, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to pay somebody to verify who I am, but I don't want to have to give up my privacy to be able to simply do an adult thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other interesting thing is, I mean, the pornography industry is kind of like there is a sort of like a certain amount of self-regulation in amongst it, in as much as they there's no really, really bad stuff on it.
Right.
They'll keep all that sort of stuff well out, and but that kind of like stuff is available, I would believe, on the dark web.
Exactly.
Not that I've searched for it, but I believe that there is some really sick stuff out there, and that was probably where these kids would end up going in the end anyway.
Totally,
if you can't get it.
There's torrenting, there's all kinds of ways and whatnot. And in those places, instead of them landing on a site that gives them mostly pretty safe alternatives and stuff, they could end up in, so-and-so's dungeon of evil or whatever, right? But in the end, it doesn't help. Like the Pornhub guys, this happened to them recently in the United States, in a state. Traffic from that state went down 80% after this was enacted. Does anybody believe that all of those people didn't watch pornography? No, they just got it by other means. Right? And that's simply what's going to happen. This will do squat, except for help some politician go, look what I did. It's ridiculous. That's all it is. She's just out there with a trumpet going,
Yeah. While going out spending, lots of public money on prostitutes and having
Yeah, the only children she has, they were given up for adoption at a pig farm, right?
Anyway, let's quickly move on to another party pooper, because a lot of chefs and cooks prefer cooking some dishes over others, but one restaurant in Norwich in the UK is taking avoiding an unliked dish to the next level. Yes, people who don't like pineapple on pizza. Looper Pizza has started charging customers £100 for an Hawaiian pizza simply because they don't think pineapple belongs on pizza. Now then, doesn't matter which side of the debate you fall on, this is certainly an extreme response. And their listing for a Hawaiian pizza on Deliveroo is set at £100, accompanied by the cheeky message saying, yeah, for £100 you can have it. Or order the champagne too. Go on, you monster. But Lupa's owner and head chef, he basically said, they hate pineapple on pizza. Well, good for you. I don't care. And Francis Wolf, the co-owner, said, I absolutely loathe pineapple on pizza. And, the head chef says, I love a pina colada, but pineapple on a pizza? Never. I'd rather put a bloody strawberry on one. Well, why don't you? Sounds horrible.
I bet of those three people, at least one of them doesn't like an anchovy on a pizza, but they offer it without charging you $100. This is just that whole back and forth social media argument, and they're trying to get some traction over it. This is bull.
Yeah. Well, it's just people being arseholes as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course. They've even put like a poll up to find out if pineapple actually does belong on pizza. You can ask, they ask the question, yes, it's delicious, or absolutely not. And apparently they say, well, if yes wins, they'll offer the Hawaiian pizza as a monthly special, but only begrudgingly, and probably charge $200 for it.
What's this place's name again?
Where's it gone? Lupa Pizza.
Lupa Pizza. After this little endeavor into trying to be cool on social media, why don't you try opening a franchise in Canada and see how that goes for you, dumbasses?
Yeah, well, they can only have pineapple on pizza.
Well, no, but Hawaiian pizza is my son's favorite. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't understand it. It's like,
cares?
Somebody like it.
Yeah. Some people put spam in things. Other people don't.
Yeah. Some people put ketchup on their fries. Some people put mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You don't have to eat it.
Yeah. What if the guy who started the first Subway restaurant was allergic to green peppers, and so, as such, nobody could have them?
Yeah.
It's just dumb. We're done. So big thanks to the team. We got Annette, PJC Net, and Shayna Caldwell in the house tonight. Having a team on YouTube makes all the difference, and we got the best one. And thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, and thanks for supporting the channel, everybody. All the ways you can do. Check out the description with more details, and check out the website because it's got links to all our different channels, so you can come and find us in all the little different places. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My notes say describe. I don't know why it does that, but subscribe. Describe us in your subscription. Subscribe-y.
Keep your stick on the ice, everybody.